Alright, so top of the morning to you folks back home in eastern North Carolina. It's about 6:30 in the morning there, 12:30 in the afternoon here. It is Saturday, July 23rd, 2022, and we are docked in Krems and are right now on a bus, as you can see, heading to the Gottweig Abbey.
We started off the excursion to the Abbey by passing through the vineyards, which are owned by the Abbey. Once inside the Abbey complex, we watched a short video about the history and the current life at the Abbey. Then we went into the gardens, and you can see the apricot trees here. The Abbey uses the apricots for all sorts of things like jam, soap, and even lip balm. The Abbey was founded by the Bishop of Passau in the year 1083. It was originally an Augustinian abbey, but then became a Benedictine abbey shortly after its inception. The abbey has experienced two devastating fires in its history, the first in 1580 and the second in 1718. This building here is part of the fortification system of the abbey. From out of these fortifications, the monks themselves used crossbows to defend themselves against their attackers. Okay, not quite sure what that says. It's in Latin. All right, and here's a view from the Abbey into the Austrian hillside. In the valley, you can see a village which the Abbey serves. This is the Ehrentrudis Chapel. It was built in 1072 in the Romanesque style and is one of the few buildings to survive the fires. Next, we visited the Kaiserstiege, which means the Emperor's Staircase. The ceiling only took 45 days to paint and was completed in 1739. The staircase, which you can see here, is one of the largest staircases in Europe from the Baroque period. The Kaiserstiege was the site within the abbey where the monks would house very important guests. Important guests such as the Austrian emperor, who is depicted in the ceiling painting himself. And here's just another look at the ceiling painting because it's just so amazingly beautiful. In case you were wondering, yes, it's the emperor sitting in Apollo's chariot with the sun behind him. Next, we headed back outside to get ready to go into the Abbey's collegiate church, which you can see here. Due to all of the hazards the church has faced throughout history, it is made up of several architectural styles. The outside that you can see here is clearly in the Baroque style. Moving to the interior, the chancel and the crypt are in the Gothic style. The nave itself is in the Romanesque style. Here's a look at the altar. See if you can spot those two chairs by the altar. Here's a close-up here. These chairs were exclusively reserved for the Emperor and Empress of Austria. Thus, it is believed that the last two people to utilize the two chairs were Empress Maria Theresa and her husband centuries ago. Here's a look at the organ, a must-see in every church. And then another pan of the interior, the faux marble columns, the nave of the church, and of course, the impressive altar. The other chairs in the altar are for the monks themselves. Here's a look at the top of the altar, and then one more of the altar from a little further back. Then I went down into the crypt to see the chapel located downstairs. And here's a close-up of it. And here's a final look of the vineyards owned by the Abbey.